Hey guys, Billy here. I'm a multi-gladiator hunter and a shuffle rank 1. This video is Epic 3's gameplay part 2 with a commentary voiceover. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so for this game we're against a Destro with a Boomy and a Holy Priest. So our main target is going to be the Warlock. The enemy priest uses Holy Ward. I try to run in to get it and get feared. And my pets are too far away from the priest to be able to use freedom instantly as well. But when I do that, he is able to get out of the roots and chases the Boomy. And the Boomy trinkets this. I then scatter the Boomy into a silence, and I get cycloned. Now it's our turn to do the go. So we're just doing damage to the Warlock. I'm getting him a bit low first, and then I will land a full stun onto a trap onto the enemy Holy Priest. This gets us the Warlock's wall, and we are able to follow up the CC chain. I root him, so he can't get out from behind the boxes quite as quickly. I kick the Holy Fire, because if you kick a Holy Priest on Holy School, they can't heal, and those currently do damage, so it's really, really good to kick them on Holy School. So now, just doing damage, get the Guardian, and I see that the Boomy pops Incarn. I messed up here because I gave the Warlock a Binding Shot stun, so that messed up their DR. But then I use Knock Trap to force the Priest to get stunned, then follow up with a Trap, get a Root Beam, I Freedom our healer, and I get Silence, so that means I can't kill command. My feral drops a bit low here, and looking back I probably should have used Ross, but I didn't. I don't really know why. Get Apotheosis from the enemy priest, I get stunned, and we get a Chastise onto the priest. I get cloned here, but I trinket it to follow up with a trap, but my druid was cloned, I didn't see this. I should have just waited for the trap. So yeah, we get the full clone, which is really, really good. Then we swap that to the Boomkin, and I'm just doing damage. Our only things to really kick here are the Cyclones and the Chaos Bolts. My Druid does miss kick, but it's fine. I just scatter the Boomy. We're not really in trouble here. I stun the Priest on his heal, because you can stun line of sight as long as your pets are in the line. Get a bit of damage onto the Warlock here. Get a Sphere into a Chastise on the Boomy. The Priest is still in a clone behind the pillar, so he can't use any buttons, can't use swap. But out of this, I still had a stun, and I could have knocked him away. So even if he didn't die right here, we probably still would have killed, because it would have taken the priest a long time to get to the Warlock. Okay, so for this game, we're against a FMP, which you've probably seen a lot in AWC, because this comp is disgustingly broken. It's similar to RMP levels of broken, I would say. The enemy priest uses a Holy Ward and goes into Guardian. I don't really know why he used the Holy Ward before the Guardian, because the Guardian, he can't be CC'd anyway, so the Holy Ward's kind of a waste. But it's what it is. I kick him, and then use a silence on him as well, and we get the Mage's mass invisibility. Get a stun into a trap onto the feral. I meant to trap the priest, but the feral ate it. So I just scatter the priest instead. Get a full clone onto the priest, and the mage is trying to use Ring of Frost. We get the Guardian on the mage, and he has to block. So this is really, really good. We've now got one of his blocks, and we've got the Guardian as well. Although Guardian didn't proc, so it's only a 1 minute cooldown. Now he's using Ring of Frost. Looking back, I maybe could have kicked this, but I decided I wanted to save it for maybe a clone or a priest heal. Get a Binding Sun onto the priest, which he trinkets, and therefore the Shadow Fiend eats my trap. Here I was playing very, very risky, and I ended up proccing the Guardian. I should have just turtled earlier. I thought my priest would be able to top me, but that's what happens when you're no voice. I could have definitely played this better. Right now, the game is kind of even because we don't have Guardian. They don't really have that many cooldowns either. I land a silence onto the priest. He uses fade so that he gets silenced sooner. I'm then able to land a stun and a trap onto him. We get a clone on the feral, and then I scatter the feral, and we follow this up with a clone onto the priest. The reason I scattered the feral was so that he couldn't kick my feral, so my feral could get a clone onto the priest. That is a lot of time saying the word feral. So yeah, now just doing damage to the mage. They're popping a little bit here, but again, it's not too scary. We get a full clone onto the enemy druid. I get a Binding Shot stun, followed up by a trap onto the priest. Mage is very, very low here. We proc the enemy's Guardian, and we are able to actually kill through the Guardian proc. So yeah, this game actually went pretty well offensively. Defensively, I definitely could have played better, but yeah, offensively, that game was good. Okay, so this game we're against the most broken comp, which is RMB. So our main target here is going to be the mage, because rogue, especially sub-rogue, is kind of immortal. And Holy Priest doesn't really die to jungle either. So yeah, our main target is going to be the Mage, which is squishy to jungle, to be fair. Like, mages can definitely die. I knock here so that I can get a stun into a trap without the Mage eating my trap, because I would have been sad if he ate the trap, and that's not good. You don't want to be sad. Now we get the altar. I try and purge it, never lucky, didn't get it. Kick Ice Wall. Mage goes, blinks back in, and my Druid takes a bit of damage. I then try and use Roar of Sacrifice on my Druid, but the Ice Wall is there, so I can't. But it's okay. We get the Guardian from the enemy Priest, the Ward on the enemy Priest as well, which again is really broken in RMP because we can't actually get it. Here they decided to just swap to my healer, and they ended up proccing our Guardian. So yeah, guys, this comp is really balanced, but I guess we can't really do much about it. That's down to Blizzard. So yeah, doing damage, I get precog because I'm cool. Get a bit of damage rolling onto the Mage. I then put a binding shot down and follow up with a stun, which he trap, sorry, which he then trinkets to get stunned by the binding shots. I then use knock trap to try and knock him away, but it didn't actually knock him that far. This map is also not fun. I haven't met a single person that likes this map. I don't know what class it's good for. It's like a mixture of Robodrome and Mugambala, I guess, or the old Blades, or no, New Blades Edge. Basically, just every worst map they could have combined into one, they have. At least it's not Ring of Blood, I guess. So yeah, now we're doing damage onto the Mage. He uses the Greater Invis. He's 3%, but he doesn't die just yet. So we get the block from him. And we're doing damage onto the Rogue. My throw gets very low there and ends up walling. But he's still completely fine now. Mage has gone downstairs, so now my pets have to run a marathon to go and get him. But it is what it is, and now he alters. I actually managed to get the altar for the first time in my life. Stun the priest into a full trap. Kick the poly, I'm the goat. Now doing some damage to them, but a binding shot down. Tar trap down even, we get a fear onto the priest. He uses will, but it's too late. We are able to land a kill onto the mage, and you can see in the bottom left how happy I am. Okay, so now we are against a marksman with a devastation with a holy pala. So now they've used nullifying shroud. We have to purge this because, well, you can't CC into it, and that's not fun. But my priest is the goat and does manage to purge it. We get a sack onto the dragon, which is good because we're not even going the dragon, we're going the hunter. So the hunter comes out, we stun him instantly. It's on his double tap, so he's very sad. Get a scatter onto the dragon, which he trinkets instantly. The hunter still has damage, but it's still fine. He uses wall, rapid fire, and now we're just doing damage to him. Get a fear onto the Pala. At this point, we've got so many of their cooldowns, it's criminal if we lose the game. I kick the Pala. I then try and knock the Pala. I do knock the Pala. We get a bash onto the Pala. Holy, I'm saying Pala a lot, but it's fine. We get an overlap of Lay on Hands, Turtle, and Bubble. So at this point, the game is pretty much won. We just need to not die. I'm just doing damage to the Hunter, staying by the Pala. Couldn't kick the rep. I really wanted to trinket this. I didn't. I held restraint. I kick the Pala, and then I follow this up with a stun. And the binding shot now pulls everyone back due to the hero talent. My Feral kicks a sleepwalk, which is really, really nice. Because now the Evoker can't really off-heal that much. Get a fear onto the Pala and the Dragon. And we are able to land a kill onto the Hunter. So yeah, now we're just killing. Not really too much to say here. Okay, so for this game, we're against a Rdruid with a Fury and a Mage. This comp is, on paper, it should be really simple, but they're very tanky. Druid also has this new thing from Lord of the Rings where they can become an Ent and then they don't get CC'd forever. That's fun. And they can use NS to make it an instant cast. So yeah, that's something to be aware of. Get a stun into a trap. Somehow I hit this with his jungle around him. And we're deciding to kill the warrior. Looking back, this was not the right play. Mage died a lot easier. But yeah, we decided to hit the warrior to start with. Because from past experience, Mage doesn't die. But I guess neither does warrior now. Get the trank from the druid, but he gets silenced because of my silence shot on him. And he bashes me into clone. Also completely wasted my trinket this game. But that's something we can talk about another time. Get a kick onto the cyclone. And at this point, I'm just hitting both. Because I'm stopping on hots, right? I feign death the clone. We get the altar. I couldn't purge it. So I go back onto the warrior. Altar is really, really strong because we only have one real purge, which is the priest. But he's healing. So we can't really purge that much. So yeah, you kind of have to just stop on hots. So just doing damage now, hitting the warrior. The guys become a Lord of the Rings thing again. so I can't do anything to him. He gets a clone onto me. Again, nothing I can really do here because I can't stun him. He's a tree. So get a stun onto the warrior and the intervene as well. I follow this up with a stun into trap on the druid, and I'm doing damage to the mage. This somehow broke because, I don't know, WoW's fun. And yeah, just doing damage to the warrior now. I could have been in line with the druid here to kick this cast, but again, it really wouldn't have done that much, just due to the fact that he was so healthy anyway. We get a stun onto the mage, and I'm doing some damage. I run over to the druid, get a stun onto him with the bunny shot. I really should have trinketed, like human trinketed that stun to follow up with a CC, but it didn't matter too much in the end. We get a master spell on the ice block and the intervene, and this is my go, or this is when I got PI. This PI was looking back a little bit too early because I hadn't popped cool yet, but again, no voice is hard. We get the ice wall, or they do the ice wall, but it kind of helps us, honestly. And we are able to just land a kill onto the mage here, because I guess the druid just can't heal it. But yeah, the warrior is still completely healthy, never actually had to pop any defensives. Mage was definitely the better kill target in this comp. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.